Hello everyone. So I'm so happy to have Ayushi with me, and she has done wonderful in her CLAT exam. I'm really very proud of you, beta. And you have really worked hard for your CLAT preparation and you have scored as expected. Right? So, okay everyone. So I want to ask Ayushi, how did you think of CLAT? Like what made you think of CLAT?
It might sound like very cliche, but from ninth onwards, I was thinking that there should be some area or field where I can actually contribute to the society in a more direct way and in a more positive way. So everyone who thinks about contributing to society thinks about UPSC. So even I had UPSC in my mind. But in the middle of 10th, I got to know about what is CLAT. So I thought law is much better option to become more aware of the laws in the country, and you can actually the opportunities that law as a field in itself provides. So then I decided okay, I'll be opting with CLAT. And I started with my CLAT preparation from 11th standard itself. I enrolled myself with law tutorial in 11th standard. But if you talk about the serious preparation, it started with the 12th standard only.
12th standard, okay. So, what did you do during the 11th part, like newspaper or anything? Like, how did you start with your preparation once you decided that you'll do your CLAT and you enrolled with us? But then later on your part, how did you start with your preparation?
So, like any other aspirant, first of all, the first thing was to go to toppers videos, watch their videos, watch their strategies.
Like they will be coming to your video.
Hopefully. I watched, of course, a lot of videos as to how we have to go about CLAT, because I do not have anyone from law background in my family. So then I watched videos, and I also sort of took an idea of what all sections. So there are 5 sections, we all know: legal, logical, GK, quant, and English.
Right.
So we have 5 sections. Then I started it with I think the starting was not. It should have been more. It could have been more refined. I started with newspapers first, the Hindu, and if you start with the Hindu, it's going to be a major task. Reading that newspaper is a major task, and I'm so thankful that now at least I can stop reading that newspaper.
Good. Yes, newspaper is must. I keep on telling students. But yeah, if the selected one tells you, I trust you'll believe them more. Yes, newspaper.
Newspaper is a must. Newspaper is not just a must for GK preparation actually, because it involves all the 4 sections apart from quant. For example, it will help you in your reading speed. It will help you in your comprehension. So by now, since we have CLAT 2023 in December, so try that by the time you reach December, your comprehension skills are the best. There are other areas there are other niches in which you can work, but the comprehension skills will really help you at the end day. When you can understand things in a short period of time, that is what will help you manage your time, and it can be done very effectively when you read newspapers, and especially the editorial section. And don't starting with newspapers can be a hard task for, like, if for a person like me who is not really into reading newspapers. So for me it was I used to think कि आज newspaper नहीं पढ़ना है, but don't do that. Start reading newspapers, and starting when you have a lot of time, so you can also read editorials from the Indian Express. So read the Hindu pura and the Indian Express editorials. It will really help you.
Right. So newspaper. Now, what would you recommend? Like subject wise, what would you recommend students? Like for logic, what should they do? For English, what should they do? Let's start with logic.
For logical reasoning section, and specifically for CLAT or a logical reasoning section, first of all, just go through what all the topics are there. Make an index ki their strengthening, weakening, assumption, conclusion, inferences. These are the broader topics that you need to first of all understand the concepts. Because when your concepts are strong now, it will really help you at the end. Then you don't have to go again back to the concepts. Then you will only have to do is you have to practice
more.
So just make sure that when the starting of your CLAT preparation, you're being very attentive in your classes when the concepts are being taught. They will really help you when you apply them to the questions. And then when your concepts are furnished enough, then go to the questions. Questions के sources for logical, I think coaching का material
mocks.
Coaching material mocks. And since we have these passage-based logical reasoning questions, but I would still recommend you to first of all go to those जो पहले वाला pattern था, because that will help you in catching the concept. And then when you're strong, it's not even strong, but okay, when you're comfortable with those questions, then move to the passages-based questions. And until then, keep reading, do diverse reading. It will help you in English, it will help you in legal, it will help you in logical. When you do diverse reading, you're actually making yourself familiar with different subjects.
Yes, even for that matter, this time in logical section they had 2 or 3 legal paragraphs.
Yeah, so we had this judgment of Madras High Court judgment where the judge said that everyone has a duty to love. So I read that judgment. I actually loved that judgment, in fact. Right. So it really helped me in the CLAT preparation because वो line law से उठा के दे दिया था पूरा.
Exactly.
So when I was reading it, I already read it before, and I was reading it, so it was very easy for me to understand because I was reading it for the second time. And ऐसे भी make your comprehension skills इतना अच्छा कि even if you have not read the passage, you're able to comprehend what's written.
Right. And with respect to quant.
Okay, so quant, I'm not that good at quant. Yeah, I had
a lot of students are not good, and that's why they think like they should not even attempt.
No, that should not be the approach. So I had applied maths as my optional subject in 11th and 12th standard, but that didn't help at all in CLAT. So about quant section, I would say, first of all, there are certain basic topics like percentages, ratio and proportions, and averages. These are the 3 topics that will help you in those specific topics. So first of all, clear these 3 topics के concepts clearly, and practice these questions. And for example, if you want to practice questions of mixture and allegations, you would still be able to, you will be able to do it in a better way if your percentages are strong. So in averages, ratio and proportions and percentages, इन तीनों को first of all पूरा strong कर लो, and then make a list कि कौन-कौन से topics करने हैं maths में. जैसे I made a list for time and work. I had to do time and work, time, speed and distance, and probability and mensuration.
I'm going to take your notes, so then I'll share it with the students. I'll try to get her notes and share with you like the topics she noted down and everything. And that I hope will help in your preparation as well.
So yeah, so when you make this index, do it with logical and do it with math, because आपको index पता लगता है कि आपको फिर पता लगता है कि हाँ ये करना है मुझको भी. So when you make then practice इसके भी one liner questions, like time, speed, distance के one liner questions. जब उसमें थोड़ा comfortable हो जाओ, then move to इनके भी specific, जैसे time and speed, distance के specific data interpretation questions. You will easily get them online, and you practice those questions. And don't leave quant, because quant will provide you a push. It will definitely provide you a push. And first of all, don't fear quant. I feared quant a lot, and I felt lazy at doing quant. So don't do that, and you
have to get out of your comfort zone to get a good score.
Yeah, in quant. So don't miss quant. Yeah.
Right. And then for legal.
For legal, when I started in 11th standard, so for legal I read. I was not that aware कि क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है, तो मैंने लाइव लॉ बहुत पढ़ा था लीगल में 11th standard में, but in 12th I did not do that. In 12th, for example, first of all there are 3 starting topics: torts, contracts and crime, which will be of course taught by ma'am and other faculties at Law Prep Tutorial very fantastically, so you won't face problems in that. And practice questions after you've read torts, contracts and crime. Practice past year वाले questions, है ना. There is a portal पे
you have all the past year question papers. You'll have even case laws जो news में है, they are uploaded. Current laws are also discussed. If you cover these things, pretty much your CLAT is covered. And I remember we discussed constitution at the end, right to religion का भी, right to life. So they had around 2 to 3 passages related to constitution this time.
Yes.
Right, so cover all the basic things related to legal. Well read again. If you read a lot.
And these legal, English and logical section just consider them one. इनको एक group में कर लो, because these are comprehension वाले sections. If you can comprehend what's written in the passage, questions will be a cakewalk for you. It will be a cakewalk. So if you, I'm again stressing on the fact कि do diverse reading, कितनी भी diverse, because knowledge never goes waste. Even if you're reading something and वो CLAT में नहीं आता, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि तुम्हारा कुछ नुकसान हो गया. It's going to be useful to you later in your life. So comprehension skills अच्छी होंगी, so these 3 sections you will not face problems. And also with the legal and section, I would say कि doubts discuss it with teachers, because when I started discussing doubts with you, I was not that great in, मेरा legal का score was not that great, but when I started discussing doubts, I used to discuss doubts, I remember
11 o'clock till 12 o'clock. Usually I have classes during daytime, so whenever student messages me, I try to connect back to them in evening. So that can go up to 12 o'clock also. But that's something that paid.
Yes.
So finally that paid. So no regrets, no this thing there. Right. And for English, lot of students have issue when I keep grammar classes or vocab classes. Right? They are like RC karaiye. So like, what do you recommend to these students?
First of all, इन सारे जो टॉपिक जो सारे सेक्शंस हैं, you have to first of all clear the basics. As I said, in legal also, static up, you cannot afford to skip static. For example, pick up CLAT 2021 का paper, they had static questions.
Right.
So if you would have someone who would have done static on a topic, it would have become very easy for him or her to attempt the questions. And for quant also, if you're not through basics, you're not going to able to do well. So that same goes with English section as well, because if your vocabulary is good, then it will help you well. It will help you with your speed. Because if एक word आ जाता है passage में, तो आप उस पे रुकने नहीं वाले. You're going to understand the contextual meaning and the literal meaning of the word. Most of the times what happens is कि question में होता है कि you have to give the contextual meaning of the word. You don't have to give the literal meaning. That meaning उसमें उस question में काफी mistakes होती थी. Then I used to realize कि इसमें literal meaning नहीं पूछा. It is asking कि context में कैसे होगा. And context में आप कैसे बता पाओगे when you know the literal meaning of the word. And for grammar also helps certain. And these basics will really help you in increasing your speed. So don't miss these things. And RC में just do reading. Now उसमें coaching आपको help नहीं कर सकता. Reading speed में coaching के
we can tell you that you have to work. We can tell you, we can motivate you. If you feel low, I can help you. But ultimately read तो आपको ही करना पड़ेगा बेटा. I can tell you the sources. I can give you more and more questions. But you have to practice. Which those who do, they get through.
And I also like, we in the month of December, so there's this book called Aristotle.
Yes.
So I did it with my study partner. Can I name it?
Yes, sure.
So I had Ayushman as my study partner. So we used to do it together. So we completed those 85, 86 passages together, and it really helped us. It definitely helped us.
So that's what, no? You should have a good group of friends or a set of friends who actually positively motivates you. If you are going to end up with people who are going to say कि नहीं होता है यार, ऐसे कोई होता है क्या, नहीं होगा, कुछ भी हो सकता है, negative भी हो जाएगा, तो then that thought will transfer to you also. So make sure that you have people who are positively motivating you, have mentors who are positively motivating you, and who are putting you on the right path, right? And you are also supporting them for the same purpose. So of course that must have helped. Now mock scores. Students are so worried about mock scores. They are so worried. 40 आ गया they are sad, 50 आ गया they are sad, 60 आ गया they are sad. एक दिन 80 आके वापस 60 चला गया they are sad. So like, what do you recommend to the student? What were your lowest and highest scores?
First of all, one most important thing is that कि मुझे बाद में realize हुआ that mock is a mock. It's not CLAT. See, mock का level of difficulty is changing. Your intelligence is not changing. It's the difficulty level of the mock that is changing, right? And I gave my first mock in 11th standard, and someone told me कि I was a very naive person. Someone told me that you have to read the GK section as well, and they'll tell you the GK questions. So I know that all of those who are listening, they are very smart people. Even if someone tells them to do this, they're not going to do it. But I was not among those students. So I read the GK section, I attempted the GK by reading it, and I ended up getting a score of 28 out of
28. Okay, so I always tell students it's not always about 80s, 90s in your mock. Wherever you stand, you have to be positive, work hard, and it will improve. So lowest score starting from 28, and then moving on to.
And then one more thing that I would like to add is in September, due to some reasons, I dropped from the score of like 80 to a score of 50. I don't know how, but it happened. And then I was really I'm very thankful to my father for this. So when I told him that I know I've just dropped, like it's a very big drop, 80 to 40, 50. So in the month of September, my score dropped from 80 to 50. And this thing I'm really thankful to my father, and he was very cool about it. Ki, no, just go and analyze the mock. What happens? It's just a score. So these things really matter, and never allow a negative environment to build around yourself. Okay, and always try and be in a positive competition, not a negative competition. Do and compete with yourself. That is something that really helps. कि you're not competing with the person A, person B, कि person A के 90 आ रहे हैं तो I have to touch 90. No. If you're scoring 60 today, try to score 65 tomorrow. That will help.
Small targets. Set small targets and then eventually you'll reach a bigger target.
And mock score भी the highest mock score I got was 126. That was a very easy mock. But yeah, of course, I did not end up getting that great score in CLAT. So mock के लिए बस treat mocks as your analysis of your preparation. Where are you standing in your preparation? Where do you need to work? And what are your weaknesses and what are your strengths? And then mock को जब and mock analysis is very important.
Right.
Mock analysis and mock analysis, like in logical section, if you again doing again facing problems with questions of strengthening, go back to strengthening questions and practice strengthening questions. That will really help you.
Right. So how much time did you devote in mock analysis?
I think there's no particular time as such. If I end up getting more questions wrong, then I will, of course, my mock analysis because time will increase.
Right.
Time, I think, is very subjective. It depends on everyone.
Okay.
But analysis should be in a proper way. That is, and make a score
List.
diary.
Right. Mock diary must be there where you note down what are your strengths and weaknesses and how much you are scoring, section wise, attempts, negative marking, all of that. That is essentially must have. Okay, so Ayushi, finally, what is the final tip you want to tell students? Ki finally, these are the final do's and these are final don'ts according to you for them to set, because CLAT 2023 is very much near. So what would you recommend them that these are the things they must do and these are the things they must not do?
So the most important thing that I think in the do's wali list is that take care of your mental health. Take care, because these competitive exams are so mentally tolling. I can totally understand where you're working hard and you're not able to score good. It can become a major task to get up and sit on your study table, because everyone expects a lot from you and you yourself expect a lot from yourself. So first of all, take care of your mental health. Be consistent with your GK preparation. I think GK preparation mein my study partner Ayushman, we both prepared digital notes actually. So
Okay.
we did not had handwritten notes, we prepared digital notes. So we were very consistent with our GK. So we never missed out on GK. Even if we missed out on one day, we used to make sure that agle din we are catching up on the GK. So be consistent with your GK preparation. And one thing that I did not do is that I did not revise GK properly. So make sure that you are revising GK properly, because when you revise GK properly and with the confidence that you mark the answers now, that really helps you in the whole paper. Just that way, when I was marking GK questions and जब मैं confidence से mark कर रही थी, that really helped me confident रहने में.
Set your mindset with respect to other sections.
हाँ, क्योंकि उसमें आपको एक iota of doubt नहीं है. आपने अगर समुद्रयान mark किया तो समुद्रयान mark किया है. You know कि वो है वो मेरा नंबर पक्का हो गया. And sometimes mock में ऐसा लगता था कि मुझे लगता था कि I mark तो कर दिया मैंने, but वो सही है कि नहीं है, सही है कि नहीं है. तो in this thing
that wastes your time as well.
हाँ, तो in this thing GK revision will really help you. So GK revision and GK being consistent with GK, and don't leave this one-liner wale GK also.
You never know.
Seeing the CLAT consortium 2020 wala paper, the kind of GK they gave, but it's okay. But don't leave this AILET wala GK. To be
Right. Do all kind of possible sources, but limit your sources and revise them. Revision, consistent revision is something which they must do, and what they must not do.
What you must not do, as I reiterate this fact that never allow a negative environment to build around yourself. Always surround yourself with positive people who will push you to do, push you to do better and become a better version of yourself. And I think one more thing that people think that we will study 8 hours एक दिन में and अगले दिन 2 दिन में हम लोग अपनी study table पे बैठेंगे नहीं. वो मत करना. मतलब study 4 hours a day, but study every day, because that consistency helps you a lot. It helps you stay in touch with the studies. So that really helps. So
Do not take kind of कि चलिए ठीक है एक 2 दिन का 4 दिन का break करते हैं फिर आके खूब पढ़ेंगे. That will never happen. Consistently study. Competitive paper requires lot of patience, lot of positivity, consistency with your preparation, and it does help you to score in case if you do that. Okay everyone, thank you. I hope you have benefited from our interaction. I hope you use the tips given by Ayushi, and I hope you also get through and I get to talk to you guys in the next session. Thank you so much.